why the fuck wouldn't these guys want you to find what they're doing? I don't understand that. The only thing that I can think of that would make logical sense why they wouldn't want you to find it is because it doesn't fucking exist. Or because it's not actually as big as they're making it out to be.
Yeah. The thing is that, like, I think, like, if anyone's trying to start a fucking YouTube channel or whatever, trying to develop content, I think it's like trying to talk about things that is actually valuable to people in terms of like, yo, here's some advice of something that I've experienced or learned or whatever it is, and here's something that you could apply to your own life. Like, that content is so much more valuable.
Is that what we're doing?
That's what I mean. Whereas his content is like literally just like all just bragging, being like
that's what I take from it.
Yeah,
he's
like,
fucking
that's
bragging.
all it is. Like, and I've like, because I've seen his shit, and I'm like, oh, he's like in e-commerce. I'm gonna see if I actually can like get anything valuable, insightful for Canadian Protein or whatever. Like, because I'm always looking to learn shit, right?
Yeah.
And so I started watching. I gave up so quickly because it's just like he's like, yeah, and I started this like 8-figure e-commerce brand and da 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 da, and then he never talks about the brand. He just talks about like buying watches and fucking traveling on private jets and like all this shit.
Connor, make this one, okay? The reason why you can't find anything on that guy, why? Maybe it's not real. And maybe he's doing it for fucking clout and clickbait and all that kind of shit. This is the problem with influencers and gurus and all that kind of shit. Are they fucking real? Like, why does it take you longer than 1 minute to find out what this fucking guy does?
Exactly.
Like, seriously, like, why is it taking... That's why I have in my bio, when I'm doing this shit, I have everything listed so that you can, I don't even have everything listed, but I have what I want you to find listed that I think you might be able to use if you come across it.
Yeah.
Some of the shit that we're doing, you might not be able to use it, so I don't have it listed. But you could find it. You could find it in one fucking click. Why the fuck wouldn't these guys want you to find what they're doing? I don't understand that. The only thing that I can think of that would make logical sense why they wouldn't want you to find it is because it doesn't fucking exist. Or because it's not actually as big as they're making it out to be.
Yeah. I swear these guys are just like, they're more marketers than anything.
100%.
They're just great at marketing and developing what the audience wants to see, but it's just a complete Fugazi.
100%. Yeah, it's a Fugazi. I love that. Yeah. 100% Fugazi.
Yeah.
It's
fairy dust.
Yeah, so this is why I think this is going to be so much more valuable to people, because we're coming from personal experience. I have built what I've built. There's no arguing that. You could go fucking find it. I can show you exactly why I'm worth what I'm worth. It's fucking super simple. It's a multiplier of revenue that we're doing with the e-commerce brand, and it's how much real estate that I fucking own. End of fucking story. It's very simple. It's fucking black and white, actually. And then we're coming from a place of personal experience. And that's it. We're walking you through exactly what we're doing on a daily basis, even more on a daily. Now it's getting crazy. Like, we're actually putting out like multiple videos a day, which is fucking awesome. But we're communicating exactly what we're doing on camera, live, in the moment, so that you guys can learn from our mistakes, our experiences, our
what we focus on,
our wins, how we pivot so quickly to be successful, like all this shit. We might not be the best way of communicating it. You might not be able to go like, in camera and be able to see like exactly like what we're doing over at the plant or the facility or in my rentals or whatever, because I have so much shit going on that this is the easiest platform for me to do it on.
Yeah,
right?
Like at the end of the day, like you're a business operator first. You're not a fucking social media YouTuber.
No, that's why.
Like we dedicate like 30 minutes a day to film this shit, talk about it, whatever. But the rest of the day, you're actually running the businesses.
I am not a fucking YouTuber. I am not a YouTuber. I am not a social media guy. The only, honestly, and this is going to segue into something else, but Connor, you might be able to put this together and also clip this out. But very interesting comment. Somebody asked me about Atomic Habits. You ever watch that or read that book? Like Atomic Habits or whatever?
Actually. I've heard about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've read all these fucking books, okay? And I'm not saying that they don't offer good advice. I responded to this girl or this woman, and she's like, well, what do you think about Atomic Habits? I'm like, I don't fucking care. Like, I'm serious. Like, I don't care about all these fucking books. And the reason why I don't care about these fucking books is, they offer some good points here and there. And I'm not saying, you shouldn't pick and choose like certain advantageous points from different types of resources. That's not what I'm saying, because you should always be learning. But some people take this shit to heart. And some people are like, there's books out there that tell you to like, you're not going to be successful unless you wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning. Who the fuck is that? Like, and I reference like, even Jeff Bezos, he doesn't take his meetings until fucking 10 a.m. Right? So are you telling me he's not successful? Like, and not only that, but what if you're not as productive as somebody, or if you were to start your day at like fucking 12 a.m. It doesn't fucking matter what time you start. It doesn't matter what type of influences you take into your life. What matters is you being effective. That is it. So you should take these little fucking nuggets of advice and apply them to whatever you feel would make yourself more effective, not what that book or that course or that program tells you should do. Take those little pieces of advice and apply them to yourself. For example, if you are simply not a fucking morning person and your industry or career or job or whatever doesn't necessarily require you to wake up at fucking 6 a.m. every morning to do it, well then fucking do whatever you want. Like graphics artists or whatever. If you're the best photographer, graphics, like stuff that doesn't necessarily even require you on site, who the fuck is anybody to say when you should dictate your working hours? What you should figure out is what works for you the best and the most, and for you to allow yourself to be the most effective. That's it. The only reason I fucking hate waking up in the morning. The only reason why I wake up early in the morning is because my shit starts blowing up everywhere. And the rest of what we're doing operates on that timetable. But if it didn't, I wouldn't fucking be up. I wouldn't be up at fucking 5:30 in the morning. I fucking can't stand it. I do not like it. I would much rather sleep in. I just would. I am a night hawk. I am. That's when I like. Everything's quiet. Everything's slowed down. There's way less distractions. That's when I like to do stuff. That's when I still do stuff. I actually analyze properties late at night more so than during the day at work. That's when I do that.
Yeah, because there's nothing blowing up at the factory. There's nothing blowing up at 1 a.m.
Yeah, our factory starts at 6 a.m.
Yeah,
we have to run 2 shifts. You know what I mean? So I do a lot of my analytical stuff from like 11 to 2 a.m. like property searching and analyzing and stuff like that. It's like my brain like decompresses because it's getting less shit thrown at it, right? Yeah. So I think a lot of people put too much, credence on these guys telling you what to do and you should do this to be successful. And I think the majority, 99% of people fail to realize all they're trying to do is sell you a fucking book. Like their main goal is to get you wrapped into their way of thinking so they can sell you that initial book and then maybe something else, maybe this program, maybe this way of thinking so that you'll also buy that, maybe this way of thinking so you'll follow them now and then buy their next program or next book. People are such fucking sheep when it comes to that, man. When instead of looking at what works for them, and hey, maybe at the end of the day, I always preach like I work as much as I fucking possibly can in a day, right? But maybe that doesn't necessarily work for other people. Maybe you're not effective for past 8 hours of working per day. And I'm probably not either. That's why I say when I go back to you and I say, hey, if you work 8 hours a day and I work 16 hours a day, am I necessarily going to get twice as much done than you? Maybe not. I might get 1.5 times as done because that other 8 hours might not be as effective, because how do you do that 365 days a year? Which I try to do, but it's not a sustainable thing to be as effective all the time, 16, 20 hours a day. You know what I mean? So at some point, there's probably a threshold where you start kind of coming off, almost like a half-life. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I people really need to look at themselves and take little tidbits of information and advice from other people and apply it to them to use as a mechanism to better themselves and make themselves more effective, not necessarily, buying into one strategy or one set of habits or, one book or one program or one thing that these people putting this out expect you to be like this cult member of what they're saying, because it doesn't work like that. We're all so different. You can't buy into one situation and use it across the board for everything. It's not going to work like that.
Yeah.
So, and then she gets into saying something like, well, and I told her that, right? I'm like, these people are trying to sell you something, right? That's why they're trying to make you believe that the only way to be successful is to do this.
Yeah.
They're trying to sell you something. And then she was like, well, are you not trying to sell me something? I'm like, I absolutely fucking am. 100%. Like, don't get it twisted, people. I'm like, I am trying to sell you something. And what I'm trying to sell is I'm trying to give you value for my advice, my personal, real life experience and advice that I have been through. I don't talk about shit that I've never been through.
Yeah.
I might give my opinion on things that I've never been through, but when I give people advice, it's because I've fucking experienced it personally, okay? But the way that you're going to buy something from me and us and what we're doing here is by me giving you this advice, you coming across this content because you want this advice, because you find it valuable, and then you're going to come across all of my businesses that offer you products and services based on what I'm talking about that are actually fucking real, okay? Not like these fucking idiots online trying to give you advice and bragging about all the shit that they have. When you go to find what they're doing, all they offer you is a fucking course. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I don't even really want to sell people a course. I don't want to do any of that shit. I was thinking about getting into the mentorship game, but I'm like, fuck that shit. I don't even want to get into that. I'm going to give all my best shit out for free. And if you want it, fine, great. Fucking jump in with me. But if you don't want it, okay, fine. Go ahead and move on and listen to these other fucking idiots. So at the end of the day, I told her, I'm like, you will buy something from me. And she's like, you know what? I probably actually will. And then what does she say? She's like, I actually need protein. I need to get in better shape.
There you go.
So there you go. So, we offer something for everybody, right? We offer Coachwood Capital that produces way better returns than if you were to even do it on your own, arguably in Canada. So we buy U.S. property and syndicate out the equity. And then we also, I'm always talking about how important health and fitness is. We offer health and fitness products. That's it. That's what's most important to us, right? So, and that's what we're going to sell you. Over and above that, I'm not really interested in selling anybody anything. I have fun doing this, and you and I discuss on a daily basis what we have going on. We even work out problems on this podcast and in these videos, and you get to see it real life. This is fucking what's funny is I have a feeling people will start catching on. This is fucking real life right now. This is real life. Me and you are going to get off these mics and we're going to actually go to work and push these businesses to a fucking $1 billion net worth. And I think it's hilarious. People don't actually understand the value that we're bringing on a daily basis. If you actually subscribe and you're actually watching us do this, and you pick out these little fucking things, you're going to be able to pick out our failures, our successes, our wins, like all that shit from what we're doing, because we're communicating everything that's going on that we're able to communicate. Some stuff is a little too sensitive that we can't, but the majority of stuff, about 80% of the stuff that we have going on, we're communicating in this podcast, and it's up to you to whether or not you want to take advantage of it.